Hey guys, Brad here from Scooter Street. Just wanted to do a quick video about Malossi air filters. So see, I've got a couple different air filters here. Got the A4 sheet, the A3 sheet. These are both the double red. So these have the 2-layer foam with the sort of higher density, finer foam on the black foam on the back, and the more open foam on the front. Got a couple here as well. These are the ones that are model specific. So these are ready to go straight into a bike. This one here is for the SR50R, as well as the early model Ditec. You see this is a single red sponge, so it doesn't have that black foam on the back. This one here fits a whole bunch of models, pretty much most Piaggio, Vespa and Aprilia 2-stroke 50cc models. Our SRMT, Sport City 1, Typhoon, Zip, also fits a bunch of the 2-stroke 50cc Vespas, and this is of course the double red sponge as well. Now obviously Malossi do these large sheets which you can cut filter foam out of. Now what I wanted to mention is with some of the Malossi air filters, like this one here and also the one that's appropriate for some of the Yamaha 50cc models, they don't make the double red sponge anymore, only the single. Now the only difference that this makes, because the cell in this foam is a lot more open, it means that it breathes a lot more easily, and if you install this in your scooter, you would usually have to increase the main jet slightly because this filter will lean the bike out slightly. Now with the double red, it can sometimes lean it out a little bit, but because it has that much finer foam in the back, it's more similar to the factory foam, and you can usually get away with just putting it straight in and not really having to do much retuning to the bike. Now the advantage in putting one of these Malossi filters in compared to the factory, they tend to last a lot longer, and they're also washable. So at your service, instead of as the filter gets older and it starts to crumble away like a factory filter, you put one of these in. They last a lot longer. They don't tend to crumble up as easily, but you can just wash them at the service rather than replacing them. Then just re-oil them when it's all washed up and ready to go. Now the reason I bring these into the equation, if you do have a bike like say an SR50R or one of the 2-stroke Yamahas, and you don't want to put a single red sponge in there because you don't want to have to retune the bike, you can buy one of these Malossi sheets and cut your filter out of it. Now Malossi do the A4 and the A3 as I mentioned. Now if you have, for instance, an SR50, you buy the A4, you're only going to get one filter out of it. Now the A3 is just slightly less than twice the price of the A4, but you'd get, if you're a little bit clever, top and tail them, you'll get 3 filters out of that. So it is worth spending a little bit extra, depending on your bike, getting the slightly larger sheet, because you get sort of 3 times the usage out of it that you do for just slightly less than twice the price. So the value is there in that. Now say you want to save a little bit of money and you have a Piaggio Zip or a 2-stroke Vespa, for only slightly more than the price of the pre-cut filter, you can get the A4 sheet and you'll get 2 out of it, as opposed to obviously just buying the single filter, you only get the 1. Now if you do buy an A3 sheet, obviously there's a couple different ways that you can jigger that and you get quite a number out of them, but it's probably going to take you 10 years to go through that number of filters. So if you do have a Piaggio Zip or a bike that uses this shape filter, you're probably best off just buying the A4. Now if you're lazy or you couldn't be bothered cutting it out, Malossi do the pre-cut filters, and these are a really great option just to bolt straight in. But it's a great thing with these Malossi filters, you have a few options there regardless of what model bike you have.